Hey, today's video will be all about ruling planets in a natal chart. I shall talk about the influence of each planet on mind, as mind is the foundation of human personality. However, character, disposition, and temperament do not depend overly on the quality of the mind, as upon what channels it takes for its expression. In general, the character and disposition can be seen or learned from the Sun, Moon, Mercury, Ascendant, and the ruling planets. Usually we take the ruler or the lord of the ascendant as the ruler of the natal chart, and as much as that may be correct in some forms of astrological teachings, when we want to judge the character, it's a little bit different. In this case, we must find which planet has the most dominant influence in the life, so that will be the life ruler, regardless of whether or not it is the ruler of the ascendant. To find that planet, we must look at the ascendant and its lord, and if he is elevated, dignified, angular, or strongly aspected, it is important to remember it does not matter whether these aspects are positive or challenging as long as they are close, and there are many of them. One must wonder, if there were only positive aspects, would people even have any ambitions, or would they have strong will? So challenging is good. It makes us or breaks us. On the other hand, if another planet is more highly elevated than the ruler of the ascendant, if he is exalted, essentially dignified, or placed in an angle and has more aspects or closer than the aspects of the ruler of the ascendant, then we should take that planet as the ruler of the natal chart. It is also possible that there are two planets running neck to neck in the race for rulership, so to speak, with no strongly marked difference between them. And in that case, we do not discard one, we choose both, for then they will both be very active in life and they must be classed or looked at as co-rulers. With this introduction, let us move on to rulers. The first one is the Sun. The Sun, as the ruling planet, when well aspected, it gives dignity to the whole nature, imposing pride, not doing anything small, mean, or degrading, a fine and noble courage that may show itself on occasion, as much as by scornfully ignoring the attacks of an adversary whom one considers beneath him. There is an intense craving for recognition and leadership, which may make occupations in a subordinate position very difficult to accept. Also, an intense, warm-hearted, affectionate, and demonstrative personality can be seen here. When afflicted by conjunction, parallel, square, or opposition, especially from malefics, which are Mars, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune, or Pluto, one may become arrogant and egoistical, full of self-importance, cringy, and catering to the slightest whim of others, even though one may dislike everyone. This is actually the signature of one of the most detestable and degrading characters in the whole spectrum. The Moon, as the ruling planet or life ruler, when well aspected, makes people rolling stones, and far fields always look greener. Because of that, they have a need for change and traveling, not staying in one place much longer than necessary. For example, they only stay to earn money or the means which will enable them to go to the next. They have vivid and fanciful imagination, romantic nature. They are restless and unstable as the tide. And generally, they can be mediumistic, though usually this is unconscious. These people are considered to be harmless, but may be untrustworthy in anything that requires a significant amount of effort. When afflicted, Moon as life ruler, these people become overly restless and averse to work of any kind. They are always on the move, moving from one situation to another and infusing the same energy into others with whom they come into contact with. If the afflictions are extreme, the mind suffers and their mental phases coincide with the changes of the Moon. Mercury, as the life ruler, when well aspected, gives a keen, quick-witted mind craving knowledge and absorbing it easily. This is a mind that solves almost without effort the most intricate problems. These people are forceful orators, having an extraordinary dexterity, being able to do almost anything. They're also very fond of traveling. Now, when challenged with aspects, Mercury shows clumsy and dishonest people who are either entirely mentally unsound, perhaps in institutions, or they can be very cunning, so that they're able to hide their mental tendencies, preying on society's thieves, defaulters, and criminals, being notoriously untruthful, misleading others, even if there is no benefit to them. These people are big talkers, always ready to criticize, slander, and ruin reputation of others. Venus, as the life ruler, when well aspected, gives a tender, loving, and amorous nature. Craving love, they're extremely fond of children and usually have many pets which serve as avenues of their expression of love. They're fond of social intercourse, neat and artistic in their ideas and in decoration of their homes. They love jewelry and anything else that adds beauty to life. Usually they are loved by all, and their greatest fault is excessive love of ease and aversion to soil their hands. Now, if ill aspected, Venus makes one become overly sensual, untidy, and unkept, of depraved, perverted tastes, and of bad reputation. They use loud and obscene language, becoming moral perverts, reveling in cheap imitation of beauty and worth. Mars, as the ruling planet and well aspected, makes people eager for the battle called life. They are endowed with an ardent desire to conquer the world. The bigger and more difficult the undertaking, the more they are elated, thus they become the pioneers and pathfinders of the civilization, the engineers and contractors who build cities and roads, highways that connect them, who develop the resources of the world and turn them over to others to use. They are extremely impatient of restraint. They govern others and bend them to their will, for they have neither tact nor diplomacy. They earn money easy and spend it lavishly. They can be overly extravagant. But they never stay down for long, as their inner force regenerates them. They're also liable to accidents, which can be violent. If Mars is badly afflicted as a life ruler, person becomes egoist of the first degree, bound to attain his wishes by force or destruction if other means fail. In fact, one may prefer to knock down others to do his will rather than to have them submit without a struggle. This is a daredevil willing to risk his life and the lives of others at any moment and under any circumstances. When well aspected, Saturn as the ruler of life makes the people born under his influence profoundly thoughtful and serious, having a keen sense of responsibility. They are forward planning, hence they are trustworthy and reliable advisors. They're systematic, orderly, and have good executive abilities. They can be frugal in their tastes, they're thrifty to a degree. Their justice is cruel, hard, and untempered by the slightest degree of mercy. They do not have any pity or mercy for those who are unable to overcome faults or habits, or who otherwise become disobedient to the laws of society. They also do not care for other people's company, and keep to their own company mostly, can be highly respected and trusted in their community. Now, when afflicted, Saturn as the life ruler, he robs people of all joy and brightness, so they become melancholy misanthropes, extremely miserly, so much so that they will starve themselves and forego the comforts of life even if they have ample means to satisfy them. They're cruel, hard to please, and suspicious of the acts and motives of others. They hold spite forever. Their aim becomes getting even, have one's revenge, even if it takes a lifetime. End of these people is always or almost always bad. Jupiter, as the life ruler and well aspected, makes people endowed with a soul. They have great desire for honor, respect, and esteem in their community. Because of that, these people aspire to become pillars of society, like a well-esteemed doctor or a lawyer. They are cordial, genial people with a happy smile and warm handshake that makes one glad to meet them. They're always welcome. They're law-abiding and just, inclined to temper their justice with mercy. They're kind, forgiving, and lenient to those of weaker morality. They're philanthropic, very much beloved in the community where they reside. When afflicted, Jupiter as the life ruler, it makes one become indolent, a parasite on the social tree, a gambler, a speculator, a sporty person, and one can be very good or not so much at sports, but in any case is fan of display, likes to wear cheap jewelry pretending it is not. One can be seen on racetracks, in poker rooms, and in similar places, as these are among one's favorite means for earning a living. These people are loud and egoistical, anxious to attract attentions. They encourage strikes and riots, and are always ready to sell out a striking union to the employers. Well aspected Uranus as the life ruler makes people original, unconventional, utopian, and idealistic. These people are usually out of patience for the conventional ways of living and determined in their efforts and endeavors to break the chains of society and to live an unorthodox life. They have unusual beliefs which may be too advanced for the majority of people. At the same time, they are the pioneers of a new age, inventors of the world, very headstrong, always ready to defend their ideas. In the way they dress, in ideas, in food, they are a class apart. When afflicted, Uranus makes people stubborn, erratic, mentally so obsessed in one direction, making one become a fanatic with perverted tastes and excessive sensuality. They're so hypnotized by their own particular thought that they are never convinced and can never see when the argument goes against them. They always support and embrace the most radical ideas. Neptune as the life ruler and well aspected, and this is very special as it marks one with a peculiar power which must be seen to be appreciated. There is some strange expression in the eyes. It appears these people can see right through whatever is before them, but they're so rare it is almost impossible to talk about them. Usually only a very, very experienced occultist can recognize them. But when Neptune is afflicted as the life ruler, he makes people neurotic, having a dreamy nature, obsessed with mediums and spirits. They're likely to evolve psychic powers, but of a low grade, and if they're unable to develop these faculties, they pretend they did. They're strongly capable of imitation and easily become adepts at deception. Pluto as the life ruler and well aspected makes people powerful, controlling, digging for truth. They're usually confronted with difficult situations in life, but they're able to heal and self-transform. These people are deep, intense, and amazingly interesting, having a strong destiny or they are searching for one. And they have the capacity to change the world, in this case for the better. Now, if afflicted, Pluto can show very difficult adversaries. One becomes self-destructive, wants to control others, to control masses, taking drastic actions if their needs are not met. Afflicted Pluto attracts all kinds of legal and government difficulties and troubles. Afflicted or not, Pluto brings sudden and major changes in one's life. And this is it for today. I shall finish this video with a quote by Arthur Charles Clarke. He was a British science fiction writer, a science writer, futurist, inventor, explorer, and a television host. He co-wrote a screenplay in the 1968 for the movie 2001: A Space Odyssey. And he said, "I don't believe in astrology. I am a Sagittarius and we are skeptical." Thanks for watching. Please subscribe and I will be seeing you in a couple of days. Bye.